So let us talk about the flying monkeys. We're going to talk about the flying monkeys. Now, the flying monkeys, these are people who are they're like extensions of a narcissist. So they're the people who are doing the dirty work for them. So they're like a news network. So when they see something or they know something, they're coming back to report to the narcissist. Now, in every narcissistic situation or setting, you will always find those people they call the flying monkeys. Now, I don't know where that name came from, but how I understand who they are is those individuals who are kind of like little enablers. They are the propagandists, so they're the ones who transport propaganda from one source to another. Something like this happened, they're going to go and report this and this. Do you know this and that happened? Do you know this one did this, or do you know this one did that? That kind of stuff. So those people, they are as dangerous as the narcissist themselves. So if you have been dealing with a narcissistic parent, for example, you might have the flying monkeys who are within the family unit. So your other siblings, it could be relatives, they may be the ones that are transporting that propaganda back to the narcissist. So they're equally as dangerous. They may not necessarily be directly a threat to you, but they are an indirect threat to you. Now, one of the things you realize about flying monkeys is that you are going to think, most of the times you will think, this is why I want you guys to listen very closely. You will usually think that those people, they actually like the narcissist because the flying monkeys have been conditioned to serve. These are servants. They're aiding, they're enabling. So they have been conditioned to do that role. But there's one thing you have to know if you have been the person who has dealt with a narcissist. Those flying monkeys, they do not like that narcissist. Don't even sit down one day and think that those flying monkeys, they have got any business with the narcissist. They don't like the narcissist. It is going to look like that most of the times. You will think that, oh, these people, they're working together. How come that they're always together? How come they're always sharing information? So mostly, for example, if it's a workplace, let me say, for example, you're in this work setting. And in that work setting, you have been targeted as a scapegoat. You have been identified as a target, an easy, simple target, as a scapegoat. These flying monkeys are normally going to be rewarded for transporting information. And mostly, sometimes it may not necessarily be the right information. Anything little they will get about you, they're going to take it back to the narcissist at the top. So sometimes you may see they are getting, you may see them getting promotions, So you may see, for example, a flying monkey who has been giving the boss information, and then they are going to go and get promotions because they give, the boss the information that they needed. So they're giving the boss supply. Information is supply for the narcissist as well. So they may get promotions, they may get little favors, maybe some promotions, money, some stuff like that. So flying monkeys are also in survival mode, the same way the narcissist is. But you see, the thing is, so when they have a scapegoat, when the whole unit has got a scapegoat, so basically, they know that when they have got a scapegoat in place, all the attention is going to be diverted away from them. So the narcissist doesn't have to look at them and worry about them because they're already working for the narcissist anyway. So all the attention is going to be drawn towards a particular subject. So that is for them like a little escape from being a direct target to the narcissist. Now, if you see those flying monkeys working for the narcissist, don't really think that they like that individual. They don't like the narcissist. So if you see them, they are too much in contact and they're always moving around, they have been promoted or something like that. They always, so you know, because you see, as a scapegoat, you will be able to know, you will be able to identify who the problem is. You will know that that particular person is a problem. And you don't want anything to do with it, because a lot of times when the scapegoat knows where the problem is, they will know how to play accordingly. So they will usually do everything they can to make sure that they do not participate with those individuals. But still, you always have cases where you're going to be directly or indirectly targeted as a scapegoat of any unit. So these individuals, like I'm telling you, the flying monkeys, they don't really like the narcissist. Okay, it's one of the things you're supposed to know. They secretly hate the narcissist. But you see, flying monkeys are not. They don't have the same strength that you do. They do not have the same strength that you do. So they do not believe that they can stand on their own and make the right decisions. So they are very weak little cowards who cannot stand up for themselves and defend themselves the same way that you might have done, which is the reason as to why you was actually scapegoated, was because you know how to stand up for yourself and defend yourself. Other people can't. So instead of doing what you do, they're going to be turned into flying monkeys. So they're going to be transporters of propaganda and information. But like I've said, secretly, they do not like the narcissist. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. This is one of the things you need to know. The flying monkeys do not like the narcissist. And there's one thing I need to also tell you, let you know in this video. They see what is happening. They see it. If you didn't know this, ladies and gentlemen, the flying monkeys, they see what is happening with the narcissist. They see what the narcissist is doing. Because remember that sometimes they are talking with the narcissist. So they hear all these informations in the corridors. They hear all these things in the corridors. They know what the narcissist is doing. But for them, it's like a matter of survival. So they are doing whatever they can to survive. They need to survive. But they do not like the narcissist. But they have got to survive. So it is a way of saving their own us, from accountability, from demotions, from problems, from this or whatever, job loss, stuff like that. Family abandonment, they may sometimes be your family members, and they're thinking that if they stand behind you, you are the scapegoat, and they do stand behind you, they're feeling like they're going to have to pay for the price. They're going to have to pay the price of standing behind you, because you already have a narcissist who doesn't like you. So if they stand behind you, then the narcissist is also going to think they're a problem. So they're going to actually also have to face the wrath of the narcissist. So this is a matter of survival. It's a survival situation. They need to do whatever they can do to survive. And the fact that there's a scapegoat who is you, then even the better, the easier for them. Because now all directions are going to be pointed towards you. All faces are going to be towards you, hands towards you, fingers towards you, barrels towards you. So they have to be standing behind in the shadows, and they don't have to be answerable for anything. So it's a survival mechanism when you're talking about these flying monkeys. It's a way of survival. They're trying to survive. And behind the scenes, like I've said, they hate that narcissist. Behind the scenes. It is only a matter of time. When the right time comes, they are going to be able to show that narcissist that they do not like the person. It's going to be a matter of time. I can promise you, ladies and gentlemen. All these big narcissists you see moving around up and down, they have got flying monkeys. They have got people who give them messages, people who transport information for them. But those people, they are only in survival mode. They are doing this only for them to survive. But secretly, they do hate that narcissist. They have been seeing whatever the narcissist has been doing for years. But the difference is, they're not like you that they can speak for themselves, okay? They're not like you who can speak for themselves, who can defend themselves, who can stand up against the BS. They are a little bit more cowardly. So they stand behind the scenes and indirectly or directly try to target you on behalf of the narcissist. Because I've told you, these are little extensions. It's like the little hands who are doing the narcissist work behind the scenes, whether directly or indirectly. They are doing the narcissist work behind the scenes. So those are the guys, they call them the flying monkeys. They don't really like the narcissist. It's a survival mechanism. They're trying to survive because they may be worried that if they don't help or do things for this narcissist, they might get sacked from work or stuff like that. So those are the guys who you will meet in the workplace, and they're always worried about getting fired. Oh, you can't do this because they will fire you. You can't do that because they will fire you, because they're worried about getting fired. So those are the guys who are going to sell you out. So if you're in the working community, and you've got these little guys who are always coming around and telling you about, let's not do this, they will fire you. Don't do this, they will fire you, and stuff like that. They are worried about getting fired. Those are going to be the guys the narcissist will use as flying monkeys. And at the end of the day, they are going to find out a person that they will scapegoat you. If they feel like you're not on their side, you're not thinking the way they do or something like that, they're going to go against you. And they're going to start working for the narcissist, and they're going to scapegoat you in the workplace. So those are the people that will start transporting this information back to the boss and telling them what is going on. In your family, they're the ones who are going to be transporting information back to the narcissistic parent and telling them what so and so said, what Denzel said, what this one did, that kind of stuff. They're going to be transporters of propaganda. Okay? But there's nothing to worry about. Flying monkeys are simply flying monkeys. That is what they are. Okay? So if a person who knows it, you see, information is power. Information and knowledge is power. So when you know how these whole things works, you can always be able to protect yourself. You don't have nothing to worry about. Okay? So if you know what I'm talking about, let us know in the comment section below. You guys do know I do love and appreciate your support. Please book a session. You may donate or support my channel if you want to. Everything you need, you will find it in the description below. And until then, I'll catch you guys in my next one. There's almost signing out. Much love and blessings. Peace.